That night, in the VIP section, I didn't care about David's warning. The rich guy, his name was Prince, kept the champagne flowing. He actually looked into my eyes when I spoke. He leaned in close, whispering over the loud music. You look like a woman who carries the weight of the world on her shoulders. Relax tonight. You deserve the soft life. When the boat driver dropped me off, it was 5 a.m. I crept up the stairs, expecting to see David on the couch, but the living room was empty. When I got to our bedroom, the side of the bed was perfectly made, undisturbed. My heart did a quick flutter of panic, but the memory of Prem's warm words quickly drowned it out. I walked down the hall and opened the guest room door. David was there, sleeping on the small twin bed, wrapped in a single blanket. The room was freezing, and his face looked completely stone cold. He had locked his heart away from me, and instead of feeling bad, it just made me appreciate Prince even more. The next morning, the front door opened and my mother-in-law walked into the kitchen. David had called her. She didn't even respond to my greetings, but of course, I greeted her. She had just sat down, looking at me with pure disappointment. Annie, what am I hearing? You left my grandchildren starving on Friday to go to a club? Are you losing your mind? I didn't want to argue or be disrespectful to an elder, so I just kept my eyes on the sink, rinsing my cup quietly. Mama, it's not what you think, I said softly, keeping my voice low. I just went out for a bit. David exaggerates things. Mama stood up, shaking her head. Annie, a virtuous woman does not build her home with her hands and tear it down with her feet. Think about your children. I didn't say another word. I just walked out of the kitchen to avoid making things worse. David was standing in the corridor, watching me. He looked at his mother, then at me. Mama, don't worry, David said quietly. Don't waste your breath. Annie has made her choice. I just swallowed hard and walked past both of them. Instead of feeling remorse, I felt completely suffocated. I grabbed my phone and texted my sister Blessing. Can you imagine David brought his mother to intervene? I feel so trapped, especially after all I found out he did. Oh please, standard guilt trip. Pack your bags and come over. If they are stressing you, don't let them intimidate you. That text gave me all the bold face I needed. For the next 2 weeks, I became a ghost in my own house. I stopped cooking. I stopped checking my children's homework. If David said A, I would scream Z. I was intentionally pushing his buttons, waiting for him to yell, but he just remained terrifyingly quiet. On a Thursday evening, I was getting ready to go out again. Temi had invited me to a beach party. David stood by the door, watching me put on my heels. Annie, our son has a high fever. I need to take him to the hospital. Can you stay back and watch the baby? I didn't even look up. You have a car, David. Take him yourself. I already bought my ticket for this event. David walked up to me, his hands shaking with pure rage. Annie, look at me. Your son is burning up and you're talking about a beach party. What kind of mother are you? I pushed past him aggressively. You're just using the boy sickness to keep me indoors. Let me pass, David. He didn't argue. He just stepped back, his eyes looking at me like I was a monster. At the beach party, I drank until I felt overwhelmed. I slipped away from the loud crowd and called Prince. Within 30 minutes, he arrived and drove me away from the chaos. Prince took me to a quiet, cute rooftop lounge, far away from the club noise. He didn't try to touch me or hit on me. He just ordered hot tea and a blanket for me because I was shivering from the beach breeze. Talk to me, Annie, he said softly, holding my hands. You're running away from something. What is it? And just like that, the dam broke. I opened up to Prince like I had never opened up to anyone in my life. I feel like a ghost in my own marriage, Prince. I sobbed, the tears finally flowing. David, my husband, treats me like a piece of furniture. It's just cook, clean, babies, repeat. I chose to become this wild person because it's the only time I feel alive. In the club, I insist. At home, I'm invisible. Prince listened to me for hours without judging me once. He didn't tell me I was a bad mother or a terrible wife. You're not a bad person, Annie, Prince said, wiping my tears with his handkerchief. You're just a woman who has been starved of affection and appreciation, and I understand that fully. You are free with me. You can be whoever you want to be here. In that moment, Prince became my saving grace. He changed everything for me. It started feeling like he knew me and my problems. I came back home the next afternoon at 1 p.m, feeling emotionally lighter, but completely unprepared for reality. The house was dead silent. No David, no keys. I called David, but his line went straight to voicemail. I called his mother, and she picked up, her voice dripping with disgust. Don't call my line again, Annie. The boy was admitted into the ICU last night while you were out. I rushed to the family hospital, panic gripping my chest. When I got to the private ward, David was sitting by our son's bedside. His clothes were rumpled, his eyes bloodshot. As I entered, David stood up and walked over to me. He didn't raise his voice, he just looked completely dead inside. Get out, Annie, he whispered. David, I'm not leaving, I said, tears bursting out of my eyes as I look at our son with tubes in his nose. He's my child too. I'm staying right here until the doctor says he's completely fine. David closed his eyes, his chest heavy with pure anger, but he didn't push me. He just walked to the far corner of the room, completely ignoring my presence, while I sat by our son's side, holding his small warm hand. We stayed in that suffocating mode for hours until our son's fever finally broke and he fell into a peaceful sleep. Once the doctor confirmed he was out of danger, the weight of the situation hit me. I left the hospital briefly and went straight to Prince's apartment just to vent and breathe. The moment he opened the door, I collapsed into his arms weeping. With Prince, I didn't have to pretend. He was the only person who truly understood my pain. I finally got home at 4 a.m., emotionally drained, but anchored by Prince's support. As I walked into the living room, the standing lamp clicked on. David was sitting there waiting. He looked at my face, cold and unforgiving. Where were you, Annie? Your son just got discharged from the hospital and you still stayed out till 4 a.m. I lifted my chin, remembering Prince telling me I deserve to be happy. I was with someone who actually cares about me, David. Since you've already checked out of this marriage, why should I pretend? David stood up slowly, a strange shady smile forming on his face. The heartbreak in his eyes was completely grown, replaced by something dark and dangerous. You think you're the only one who knows how to find someone who cares, Annie? David asked, his voice dropping to a whisper as he held up his phone, showing me a screen filled with messages. Push me to the absolute end, and you have no idea what has been waiting for me there. To be continued.